Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So this video is just going to be a little sit down kind of update on my life right now and some changes that have occurred. So I just want to start off with this. I accepted a job in a level 4 NICU. If you don't know, I have been working in a level 3 NICU ever since I graduated nursing school, but I've just been feeling like I want something more, and I feel like working in a level 4 would allow me to achieve my long-term goals as a nurse. And so I'm super excited for this change. It's hard to leave the unit because I do love the population of the patients and the families that I work with and care for, because they're such a vulnerable population and they really need people that truly care to bring change within the unit and the community. And another thing is I have such great coworkers. The provider team, they're awesome, and I'm really gonna miss working alongside them as well. But I'm just looking forward to this change and making connections with coworkers and babies and their families. So I am going back to the NICU that I worked in as a tech in nursing school. So I'm familiar with some of the staff in the unit, but from like a tech perspective. So I am excited to go back and hopefully see some familiar faces, because they also had a great team of nurses, providers. I learned a lot from both professions with education and hands-on things. They're also a teaching hospital, so I'm very blessed to be able to be a part of that opportunity to learn and really be taught the proper way to do things. It's like my nursing update. And then with school, I'm still in my RN to BSN program. I'll be done in beginning of May 2026. So I'll graduate, have my BSN, and I think this is like, after this BSN, I'm done going to school. I love learning, but there's like specific things that I want to learn and focus on, like within the neonatal population, and hopefully get some certifications down the road. So I'm looking forward to being able to focus on that solely. So I'll go over like my kind of 1 year as a NICU nurse, even though it's been a little over a year because I started in July of last year. But I'll kind of tell you guys what I've been able to do and skills that I have obtained, because although the unit that I worked in is a smaller hospital, a smaller unit, less acuity, even though it is a level 3, there's some modes of ventilation like the jet ventilator we don't do, and we just don't really see like super sick kiddos sometimes. But when we do, usually they go to the more experienced nurses, which is understandable, but there are opportunities to learn and observe. I've gotten really good at doing like admissions. I've done, I think, above 32-week admissions by myself, and with every admission there's always someone helping, whether that's with hands-on stuff or writing down vitals, and when you give meds, when you put the IV in, when you put the OG in, all of those things. So I'm very grateful for the teamwork on nights. So with the admission, that's like everything, getting the baby settled. And honestly, my favorite report to give is on a baby that I admitted, because you know the baby and you know everything you did, and usually it could be like a small amount of stuff depending on the level of care they require. But I just like giving that report because it's simple and you got everything pretty much you need to know, plus or minus some of mom's history depending on the chart. I have been able to insert 2 IVs. My first one was on Christmas Day, and then another one more recently, I think within the month. And honestly, IV is a skill you're gonna learn, and I struggle with it. I've had many opportunities, like a handful or so, to put in an IV, but I've only been successful twice. But I am grateful that I was able to get part of that skill down. And you know, I have assisted with the intubation, not so much hands-on, just kind of because it was my first night off of orientation, which of course those stories are always the best because it's always something crazy happening. But it was an eventful night and I will never forget it. So I would say kind of assist with the intubation, really my preceptor doing all the work. I have assisted with a few UVC insertions. I've attended like twin deliveries, I think 2. I have my little bead jar. The boys, 1. Pretty much. And with this level 4 job, they do have like a nest nurse, which those nurses go to deliveries. So if I wanted to be on that team, I think it would be a little while before I'm able to. So I know that's something I'm gonna miss going to frequently, is the deliveries, but I am excited for all the learning opportunities that a level 4 brings. I have, which I don't think we did this at our facility, I've done a G-tube feeding and like teaching the mom how to do the first feeding and cleaning the site, looking out for signs of infection. I've been able to draw labs from a UAC, so that's the umbilical line that goes in the artery. It has been a little nerve-wracking here and there, like, okay, am I doing this right? I don't want the kid to bleed out. But after many practices and observing other colleagues, I have been able to do that skill independently more recently. I've been able to remove a UVC. I've done a UAC and multiple UVC sterile line changes, which actually I don't really mind. I like doing those just because, I don't know, it's just a skill that I enjoy doing, like the sterile procedure. And then sometimes it's nerve-wracking if you have like lipids with the TPN, a Medline, but overall it's always a learning process. I've recently took care of a micropreemie that was intubated and on a ventilator. I've had a handful of ventilator kiddos, but not as much where I would feel comfortable taking it on myself, even though I have, but I've always asked for help. I am not scared to ask for help. I don't care if I even know the answer. I will ask for clarification or whatever it may be, because these kids, their life is on the line when you're taking care of them, and you have to make sure you are very attentive and organized, on top of things. I've recently also took care of a baby on nitric oxide, so that was something new, and reading up on it, it was very interesting, and also watching YouTube videos on how it works and things to watch out for. Like, for example, you monitor the methemoglobin level, and just really, I love learning. Okay, so I've done quite a few of like blood transfusions, septic workups, but more recently I've done a blood transfusion through a UAC for certain circumstances. Usually we would use like the secondary lumen of the UVC, but that was clotted off. So I've been able to do that and just monitor like the baby. So I feel like I have a good set of skills, a good foundation to help me transition to a level 4 facility, because with level 4 there's ECMO, there's surgeries, there's a wide range of things that I am not familiar with. So I'm so looking forward to but overall, I'll definitely keep you guys updated throughout this process and share with you guys like things that I am learning and how my orientation is going. I start my job October 23rd, so next week. I'm so excited. I'm excited to be back at the facility, the hospital system, because I know they really care for their patients and they enforce family-centered care, which is super important. So yeah, I hope you guys stay tuned, and thank you for watching this video.